I had two kindergarten teachers. I had teacher Ann and teacher Jane, and Ann was clearly my favorite. One of the reasons being that she had these high-top Reeboks in assortments of themes. There were bowling ones, there were cow ones that had little charms of milk cartons, and she had ones with cactuses hanging off of them. I'm pretty sure they were desert-themed. And she loved me back. I got to sit on her lap in every class. It was a school where we got to sit on the floor, kindergarten through 8th grade, but especially kindergarten. But one day I decided to go to the bathroom with a friend of mine down the hall, and I guess that we were in there too long or we were chatting. I don't think I did anything wrong, but the next thing I know, teacher Ann is in there and she says, "Hillary, you have to go to the stump." Now the stump is exactly what it was. It was a tree stump, but not an ordinary tree stump. It had nails in it. Like the whole top of it was nails, some of which were hammered down all the way in, but a lot were sticking out at weird angles. It was not an uncomfortable, it was an uncomfortable time out. And I remember, how is this possible? I'm clearly her favorite student. She's clearly my favorite teacher. How am I going to have to sit on this stump? And so I sit. And I think really while I was on the stump, really just thinking about how I like her shoes and how I wish that they made them in kids' sizes, and that maybe when I got home, if my mom pretended to not know that I got in trouble, that maybe she would go and take me to get these shoes. But I went and I sat on it, and it was only a couple minutes, and teacher Ann came and took me back into the class, and she asked me if I understood what I did. I said yes. I don't think I understood what I did. But I sat down and she let me sit on her lap, and I didn't get in trouble from kindergarten through 8th grade at all. Thank you, that's my story.
I'm going with the female version of balls out on this one.
Yeah!
Are we ready? Yeah. Okay. So I went from kindergarten through 5th grade to a private school where both my brothers were older than me and in grades above, and my mom also taught. And one day on the playground, it was decided that we were all going to meet out by the sandboxes and show each other our thingamajobs. And so I just, I volunteered. I stepped right up to the plate. In those days, little girls wear a kilt, you get bloomers, and then on top of the bloomers you wear your underwear, and then, it all came off. Proudly. Very proudly. But the subsequent after that was sort of like, I have to just sit through a course of 5 little pinkies. Because I was the only girl that volunteered to do it. And that was really disappointing. That wasn't the most disappointing part of the day. Later that night, around 8 o'clock, the phone rings. And Mrs. Morgan, the 1st grade teacher, whose son was in the line of young boys who had stepped up to the plate to witness this beautiful vagina of mine, had told his mother that he had witnessed this beautiful vagina. To the point where I was a pretty good girl. Growing up, I didn't do a lot of bad things. My parents didn't chastise me a lot. But I would occasionally wash my mouth out so voluntarily if I said a curse word at the dinner table. But that night, at the dinner table, in front of my mom, I said, "I'll wash my vagina out with so much time." And that line continually goes down in the history books in my family.